Hi, hello, welcome back to another session of social class. I am Kavita here to present a new concept from geography part, that is unit 9, Indian Transport and Communication System. As you already studied in 9th standard, the Karnataka transport system, the transport system of Karnataka state. You studied 9th standard. In today's session, we are going to learn on these main topics. Those are the meaning of transport, the importance of transport, kinds of transport. In today's session, we are with only one concept, that is land transport. A remaining two kinds of transport we will study in the next session. Yes, let's start our class with the meaning of transport. Before going to learn the meaning of transport, the early man, how was traveling? On foot. It means ಕಾಲ್ನಡಿಗೆ ಮೂಲಕ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು. Now it possible? No. With the help of transport, we will travel from one place to another place. It means the meaning of transport is, the transport means movement of goods, service and passenger from one place to another place. The meaning of transport, moving, it means a goods, service and passenger from one place to another place with the help of transport. Though all the meaning of transport is, the transport system refers to the movement of goods, service and passenger from one place to another place is called transport. Nowadays, transport system is very essential to travel across the world, all over the India, because without transport, it's highly impossible to travel from one place to another place, because 21st century recognized the technology world, so that we have in our daily life we are watching the different types of transport modes, everything, so that transport is very essential to travel from one place to another place. So this is about the meaning of transport. And next move on another important topic, that is the importance of transport. What are the importance of transport? How transport system to help for human life? Yes, transport system, a transport play a very important role in economical conditions of the nation. Of course, by the transport, the financial conditions of the nation is increasing, so that it plays a very important role in the economical conditions of the nation, and it's very essential for all the factors and as well as human activities. It's very essential for human life, as I told in the meaning. So transport is very important part of our human life. Without transport, it's highly impossible to travel from one place to another place, so that transport system is very important part of our human life, the part of our human activities. So transport, it's very helpful to all the three sectors of Indian field. It means it's very essential for primary sector, secondary sector and tertiary sector. Primary sector in the sense agriculture field, secondary sector in the sense industrial sectors, and tertiary sector, it means human life and government employees. So that transport is very important part of our human activities. Each and everyone trade and business is going on with the help of transport. Without transport, it's highly impossible to move from one place to another place. So that it's very essential for all the sectors, for all the field. So how agriculture and industries are backbone for the nation, in the same way, transport is the main backbone for agriculture and industry. ಅಂದರೆ ಕೃಷಿ ಮತ್ತು ಕೈಗಾರಿಕೆ ಹೇಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಭಾರತ ದೇಶಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದು ಭದ್ರ ಬುನಾದಿ, ಅವೆರಡಕ್ಕೂ ಒಂದು ಬೇಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಯಾವುದು ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ agriculture sectors depends on transport, industrial sectors depends on transport. So that transport is very important part of all the human activities and all the sectors of India. And as well as transport is very cheap and best. Of course, transport is very cheap and best and is very essential for the tourism department. Of course. So transport is not only useful for agriculture sector, it is very essential for tourism department and as well as industrial progress, agriculture field. Yes, as I told, agriculture field and industrial sectors depends on transport, and transport create many job opportunities for the people and is very important for people because it create the standing living of the people. And transport, by the transport, economical conditions of the nations can be increased. So this is about the importance of transport. And next to move on, modes of transport or else kinds of transport. Here modes of transport can be classified into three types. How many types? Three types. Those are land transport, water transport and airways. These are the kinds of transport system. Yes, let us discuss about land transport. In today's session, we are going to learn only land transport. So, land transport. Even land transport can be classified into three types. Those are road transport, railway and pipelines. Here, let us discuss about road transport. What are the importance of road transport? Is very important concept here. What are the importance of road transport? Road transport was practicing in the ancient times. It means road transport, the most important part of in ancient time, it's a universal transport. Road transport is not start in the recent years, since from the ancient times when India was ruled by many dynasties. So the importance of road transport are the most important part of human activity, and road transport the most ancient and universal modes of transport system. So road transport it plays a very important role in the economical conditions of the nation, and basically India is called the land of agriculture. The land of agriculture, and most of the people depends on agriculture. So that for the development of agriculture, which is the most important sector here, of course road transport. So basically India is called the land of agriculture. For the development of agriculture, road transport is very it's very essential for agriculture sector, because most of the people, around 65 to 70% of the people depends on agriculture. So that for the production of agriculture, road transport is very important. And as well as most of the people are living in rural areas. Of course, in the rural area, which is the most important occupation, of course agriculture. So that for agriculture, road transport is very important. And road transport, it is easily connect every corner of the state, and important cities. It's easily to travel from one place to another place. And road transport, it's connected important cities, talukas, and it's very important in the village sector, because agriculture is practicing in the rural areas, and it's connecting every place of the country. And road transport important role in the tourism department. So this is about the importance of road transport. Here again kinds of road transport. Kinds of road transport can be classified into two types on the basis of physical structure. Then what is the physical structure? Road transport, I think you had observed different types of roads, how it is there in the rural areas, in urban areas. On the structure of physical concept, road transport can be classified into two types. First one here, metal roads. Metal roads which are constructed with a cement, concrete and others. The metal road we can see in the cities. Unmetalled roads, unmetal road which are common in the rural areas. So on the structure of physical, road transport can be classified into two types. First one, metal roads and unmetal roads. Metal roads which are constructed in the cement, we can see in the cities. Unmetal roads which are constructed almost we can see in the village sectors. ನೋಡಿದ್ವಿ ನಾವು ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ರೋಡ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಸಾಕು, ರಸ್ತೆಗಳು ಹೇಗಿರ್ತವೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಡೆನೂ ಸೇಮ್ ಇರಬೇಕಂತ ಹೇಳೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ಸಿಟೀಸಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ತೀವಿ ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಹೈಫೈ ರೋಡ್ಸ್ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ. ಹಳ್ಳಿಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಮಟ್ಟದ ಒಂದು ಕಡಿಮೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಅಷ್ಟು ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ ಆಗಿ ರೋಡ್ಸ್ನ ಈಗಿನ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಕಟ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ಸ್ ಆನ್ ಒಂದು ಸೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ, ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ಸ್ ಆನ್ ದ ಆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ಮೆಟಲ್ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸಿ ಇನ್ ದ cities areas because it is constructed with the help of cement. Even unmetalled roads also constructed with the help of cement only, but most of the unmetalled roads we can see in the village sectors. So this is about road transport and types of road transport and major kinds of road transport. Here there, look at here, types of roads. Here what we studied here also we studied types of road transport, but on the basis of physical structure we studied types of road transport, that is metal and unmetalled. But the real kinds of road transport here there on the basis of constructions and maintenance. On the basis of constructions and maintenance, road transport can be classified into 5 types. Those are golden quadrilateral and super highways, national highways, state highways and district roads and as well as village roads. Yes, let us discuss about golden quadrilateral and super highways. What is this golden quadrilateral? I think you heard the name, the golden quadrilateral in 9th standard while I was teaching the transport system of Karnataka state. So golden quadrilateral in the sense it links from the capital city of India to major cities, major towns which are in cultural cities and as well as industrial regions. So there we can see golden quadrilateral and super highways, almost completely 4 to 6 lanes. 4 ಅಥವಾ 6 ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರೀಯ ಹೆದ್ದಾರಿಗಳಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ ನಾವಿಲ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ಗೋಲ್ಡನ್ ಕ್ವಾಡ್ರಿಲೇಟರ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಸೂಪರ್ ಹೈವೇಸ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ನೀವು ನೋಡಿರ್ತೀವಿ ಟ್ರಾವೆಲ್ ಮಾಡೋ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ಲಿ ಡಿಫ್ರೆನ್ಸ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದ ಕಾಮನ್ ರೋಡ್ಸ್. It's very constructed very systematically and maintenance. So that road transport, it means golden quadrilateral and super highways, it link from the capital city of India to major city and cultural cities and as well as industrial regions. Then which are the golden quadrilateral city, I mean links, golden quadrilateral cities ಯಾವ ಒಂದು ಸಿಟಿಗಳಿಗೆ ಲಿಂಕ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ? ಎಸ್, ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಡೆಲ್ಲಿ, ಜೈಪುರ್, Ahmedabad, Surat, Mumbai, Pune, Bangalore, Chennai, Visakhapatnam, Bhubaneswar, Kolkata, Ahmedabad and as well Kanpur and Delhi. These are the cities we call the golden quadrilateral. So golden quadrilateral, it was started in the year 1999. When it was started? 1999. So golden quadrilateral links from the capital city of India to the major cities. It was started in the year 1999. Even the super highways. So super highways are divided into two parts, from north to south and east to west. From north to south, that is Srinagar to Kanyakumari, and from east to west, Silachar of Assam to Porbandar to Gujarat. So super highways also can be classified into two parts, from north to south. From north to south, from where to where? Srinagar to Kanyakumari. From east to west, from where to where? Silachar of Assam to Porbandar of Gujarat. Then golden quadrilateral and super highways, then who maintained here? Yes. Each and every one constructions and maintenance undertaken by NHAI. What is the long form of NHAI? What is the long form of NHAI? Yes, you learned in 9th standard. Each and everything constructions and maintenance are taken under NHAI. NHAI, it means National Highways Authority of India. So National Highways Authority of India is taken each and everything maintenance and constructions about golden quadrilateral and super highways. So next, this is about golden quadrilateral and super highways, and next to move on national highways. National highways which are linked from the capital city to major cities, major towns and major important ports. Then who taken the constructions, who taken responsibility to construct national highways? Of course, the each and everything constructed is taken by CPWD. It means Central Public Work Department. Central Public Work Department is taken each and everything to construct about national highways. So national highways which are linked from the capital city to major cities, major towns and important ports. And next move on the state highways. State highways which are linked from the capital city of the state to the major district headquarters and important ports and important towns. Then who taken the responsibility to construct state highways? Of course, SPWD. Here CPWD means Central Public Work Department. CPWD is CP department is taken to construct national highways. In the same way, state highways each and everything maintenance construct is undertaken by SPWD. What is the long form of SPWD? State Public Work Department. So State Public Work Department is taking each and everything to construct state highways. And next move on district roads. So which are the link from the district to major talukas. District roads link from the headquarter of the district to the major talukas. Then who taken responsibility to construct district roads? Of course, Jilla Panchayat. So Jilla Panchayat is taken to construct district roads. So next, village roads. Village roads which are linked from the headquarter of the taluka to the villages. Then who taken responsibility here? Taluka Panchayat. So each and every one kinds of road transport is taken under by the according to department. So golden quadrilateral and super highways who taken responsibility here? NHAI. It means National Highway Authority of India. The national highways is taken under by CPWD. It means Central Public Work Department, and state highways is under SPWD. It means State Public Work Department, and district roads under Jilla Panchayat and village roads under Taluka panchayat. So this is the concept about types of roads. Next move on, border roads. Border roads in the sense in Kannada ಗಡಿ ರಸ್ತೆಗಳು ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಕರಿತೀವಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ. The meaning of border roads which are especially for the defense purpose are called border roads. Basically India has neighboring countries and as well as India has shared its border with the 7 neighboring countries. Here because India has a border with Pakistan, Nepal, Bhutan, Bangladesh, Myanmar and China. So that India has border roads is very essential, and border roads are constructed under Border Roads Development Authority. So border roads is constructed under BRDA. It means Border Road Development Authority. So each and every one border roads is constructed undertaken by BRDA. It means Border Road Development Authority. This is about border roads. And very important note here, NH7. NH7 is the longest national highway of India. NH7 is the longest national highway of India, and as well as the Manali to Leh. The Manali to Leh road is highest road, the world highest road. NH7 is the longest national highway, and Manali to Leh. Manali to Leh is the world highest road. So this is about road transport. And next move on, another type of road transport, land transport, that is railways. So railway transport is most important sector after road transport, and railway transport is very essential to carry the large number of people from one place to another place and heavy goods and services. So railway transport is very important part of the land transport because it's carrying the large number of people from one place to another place. We reach our destination within the short time. So railway transport is most important land transport, next to road transport. In India, basically India is a populated country, so that most of the people are traveling in the railways. The lakh to the people are traveling in railway because it's carrying the large number of people, and as well as railway transport is very important, is very essential for all the sectors, especially industrial sector, because railway transport carries the heavy goods and services. So that railway transport is the most important land transport, next to road transport. Railway transport was started in the period of British ruling time. So railway construction and railway transport was started in the period of British ruling time, because they started to transport raw materials from one place to another place, and as well as to transport army from one place to another place. In whose period railway transport was started? In the period of British. Why they started? Because to transport the raw material, from one place to another place, and as well as to transport army from one place to another place. The first railway track was started in the year 1853. When it was started? 1853, from Mumbai to Thane, or else Bombay to Thane. The first railway track was started in the year 1853 from where to where? Mumbai to Thane, or else Bombay to Thane. And next, in the very short time, again next second one railway track also started in the year 1854. In the year 1854, from Kolkata to Raniganj. which was the first railway track started in the year, that is Bombay to Tana in the year 1853. In a very short time, another important railway track also started in the year 1854 from Kolkata to Raniganj. At present, railway transport is there across the India. So, railway transport system, the total length of the railway transport system is 64,015 kilometer. Total length of the railway transport is 64,015 kilometer, and because for maintenance and management at present in our India there are 16 headquarters. It means the 16 zones are there because to maintenance and development, and railway transport is most important for the industrial sectors. So, this is about railway transport. Next move on another important topic, that is pipelines. Pipeline is a new mode transport system of India. It is very essential to transport oil. It is very especially natural gas, oil and mineral resources. It is not suitable to travel passengers. It is only suitable to travel. It means for natural gas, minerals and oil. The total length of the pipeline in India is 35,676 kilometer. The total length of the pipeline in India is 35,676 kilometer. So, the longest pipeline in India is, that is HBJ. HBJ is the longest pipeline of India. You should not write like this. HBJ in the sense Hazira, Bijapur and Jagadishpur. Hazira, Bijapur, Jagadishpur is the longest pipeline in India. The total kilometer of HBJ is 2,300 kilometer. 35,676 all over India. 2,300 kilometers only belongs to HBJ. It means Hazira, Bijapur, Jagadishpur. So, by this topic today we have completed a new concept from this lesson, and remaining topics we will study in the next session. Till then, keep watching video. Thank you and have a great day.